And if application admin want to ensure availability, they will use OS-based clustering. Whether it's Microsoft cluster or Red Hat cluster or Veritas cluster, they will use that. But the problem with all this clustering technology is that if you use this technology in VMware, then you cannot use VMware HA anymore. You can't use vMotion, you can't use DRS, you cannot use SRM. You've got to turn all those off. You're treating the virtual machine like physical machine if you use OS-based clustering technology. So then sort of defeats the purpose of virtualization because you can't use all this good technology from VMware. If you still want to use the good technology from VMware and you do not want to use OS-based clustering, you write scripts. The problem with scripts is that detection is slower and it's very difficult to maintain and it's not always consistent. Because you basically try and use script to work around a big problem there. And the third one is then you delay virtualization, because if you need to write script and so on, or you're still debating over whether to use clustering or not on your mission critical application, then you delay a virtualization project. So it's always a constant balance between the three when user want to consider virtualization. So what we have co-developed with VMware, and there's a white paper on the VMware website if you want to look at it. Just look for the word application HA on the VMware website, you can find it. Is that what we do is that in VMware, so on the left side you have an ESX server with 2 VM running. If the ESX server goes down, VMware knows, and VMware can move the VMs over for you to the other server, no problem. This is VMware technology. But the problem is, if it's the application that goes down, VMware doesn't know, because it doesn't detect that the application goes down. So what we do is that we ported over our application HA, or rather our VCS agent technology, as an application HA agent in the VM. And what this will do is that this will help you monitor the health of the application and integrates with VMware HA. So in this instance, if that server goes down, that Oracle goes down, our agent will know, and our agent will restart it for you. If restarting still doesn't work, then what we do is that we will talk to VMware HA, and VMware HA will restart the VM for you, the entire VM. Now we actually go a step further, which is not covered here, which is now we also integrate this with backup exec. So if restarting the VM still doesn't work, that means the OS is corrupted. So what you will do is that it will give you a choice whether you want to restore an OS image from backup exec for the last known good backup of the image. So if you tick yes, that after a few times of restart, which you can set how many times you want the thing to try, it will trigger backup exec, restore the whole VM for you, and start it again. So this is the level of automation that we offer. The only thing it doesn't do is that it doesn't trigger a failover. So this is still not a clustering solution, so to speak, because it doesn't have a standby VM. But it monitors the application for you, and it attempts to restart it for you. And if you are using backup exec, it will attempt to restore the OS image for you, if you have a good backup. At the moment, we have done backup exec. We haven't done the integration with NetBackup yet. So once you install application HA, you will see the familiar resource dependency tree. If you're a VCS user, you will have seen this before. So out of the box, we support almost all the agents that VCS support now, all the applications that VCS support now. And we support all this and also all these OSs. So Windows and Red Hat in virtual environment, application HA will work on it. Now with version 6 that we launched, application HA not only works in VMware, but it also works in Hyper-V, Red Hat KVM, Solaris domains, and IBM partitions. Same thing, same technology. And it also integrates with VMware HA in the sense that if, say, our agent is monitoring the application and the user does a vMotion, Our agent will know that the user is doing a V motion, so the application is coming down, which is normal, and you will not attempt to restart it. Things like that. The user can also put the VM into maintenance mode, so that application HA will not kick in to restart the application. For example, if the user knowingly want to shut down the application, the user can actually put the VM in maintenance mode. So he can shut down the application, do whatever he wants, and then start the application again. Then he put the application HA back into normal mode. Things like that. So it's all very well thought of. I covered. Let me skip through this. Deployment is also very easy in FHA. You can actually do a push install. What you need is one more VM. This is usually a VM or is part of the vCenter server, whichever way you want it. You have a dedicated machine that is functioning as the application HA console. We usually recommend it as a VM inside the EXX server. So first of all, you use a computer here, you install the application HA plugin into the VM, and from there you can push install the agent to all the VMs at one go. So at one go you deploy the agent to all your VMs, and once that is done, it will automatically detect what application you have in there. For those applications that we support, it's automatic. If you have a custom application, then you will need to write a custom agent, or we write a custom agent for you, then the detection is not automatic. But for popular applications like those that we support out of the box, it's automatic discovery and automatic configuration. So all the resource dependency tree is automatically configured in the VM for you. So it's very easy to deploy. Push install, one shot, you get everything in. And what you see from the vCenter is that before application HA, in vCenter you will see a list of VMs. And that's it. You can group them together, but what you see is just a list of VMs and whether they are running or they are dead. Right? From vCenter, that's all you see. A list of VMs, their names, their IP address, and whether they are dead or alive. With application HA plugin into vCenter, what you can see is actually one more tab which is very important, which is what application is in that VM. So all of a sudden, instead of seeing a list of black box, now you see all the applications living inside the VMs and whether they are alive or they are not alive. So it's another dimension in the VM. And the good thing is, then your operator can stop or start the VM, or stop or start the application. Not just the VM, the application. So imagine if you have a list of, say, a few hundred VMs of applications in there, you can't possibly train your administrator to start all those applications. Because starting application could be very different. On Oracle, you could run a script or a command. On SQL, you could stop a service in control panel. In Exchange, you could stop another service in control panel. You cannot train your operator to do that. Even if you can, you cannot give your operator the access to those applications. You can't give them admin access to so many applications. Using this, you can give your operator the ability to start the application without him actually learning a lot about the application. It's just a button on the vCenter console. So at one glance, he can see whether your application is red or green, and if need be, he can go in and restart it for you without having to train him for a zillion application and giving him a bunch of root admin access to do that. So operationally, that is very, very elegant. The insight into the VM alone is a very, very big value in terms of operation management. So faster detection and remediation. So once there's an application that's down, the operator will see it very fast, and he can choose to restart it or not, manually or automatically. If it's for maintenance, he can shut it down for the hardware guy. The hardware guy can go in, fix the hardware, or upgrade the hardware. Then from the control center, he can start it again. So very easy. And then we have different roles so that you can control whether someone can only see the status but can't do anything, to someone who can start application but can't change configuration, to everything, God mode. So there's 3 layers of user access right that you can give to the operator. So with that, that's all I have. I hope I have given you a good overview of what we can do in the virtual environment in terms of storage management with virtual store, and also in terms of application HA, helping you to gain more application availability in your VMware environment. So is there any question that we launch a new version? Do you know which version? Yes, sir? Sorry? Version 6. Yeah. So just now in my presentation, right, I mentioned before that if you go into virtualization, right, storage costs may increase. Can you tell me what is the factor of increase? How many times? 2 to 8. Yes, thank you. That gentleman. Okay, one last question. One last question. What shall I ask? Cannot ask too difficult because some of you cannot remember, but usually people absorb about half, right? You got to listen to it one more time. Okay. Today I mentioned 2 products. 2 products. Can you tell me the product name? One for storage management, one for high availability. Virtual store, he got one right. Virtual store and application HA actually. So, okay. Thank you for your time. I hope I've given you a good overview. Hope you enjoyed the rest of the conference. Thank you.